open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Your turn. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Let's sing it again. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Second part sounds like this. Aye, 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 aye. Please rise in body or in spirit. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Ah, yeah, some harmonies. Ah, yeah, 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 ah, yeah. Be open. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Ah, yeah. 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 Choir. We'll find joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. In the morning, we'll find joy. Everybody. We'll find joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. In the morning, we'll find joy. We find hope. We find hope in the children. Hope in our children. Hope in each other. In each other, we find hope. We find strength in each other. Strength in each other. Strength in each other. In each other, we find strength. There is love all around us. Love all around us. Love all around us. All around us, there is love. Whew.
Good morning, congregation. You sound beautiful, filled with joy, hope, and love. I am so glad to be with you. My name is Taryn Strauss, Reverend Taryn Strauss. I use she, her pronouns. I am senior minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. where we are transforming lives through courageous action and soulful connection every day and every way. We are so glad you have found your way here this morning. In a world that may want to exclude you, we want you to hear and know that this is a place where you belong. Whether you are beautifully transgender or non-binary, you can find belonging with us. Immigrant or refugee, you can find belonging with us. Amen. We believe here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta that our diversity is a precious blessing, and it deserves to be honored, to be seen, and to be celebrated. So we celebrate you. We welcome and cherish all of who you are, your diversity of beliefs and your doubts. Well, they are all welcome here too. And in this national climate, naming your identity as particular and precious is no small thing. Now, if you are new to UUCA or you are just beginning to explore Unitarian Universalism, we are so glad you are here this morning. We invite you to join us after the service for Pathfinders. It's a casual drop-in class where each week we explore a different aspect of our faith and our community. Today, two of our lay ministers, Kay Golan and Janet Fulton, will lead this session discussing sources of pastoral care. The Pathfinder series runs weekly through June, and lunch and childcare are both provided, so we hope you will join us upstairs in room 217 right after the service. Now, you may or may not know our congregational meeting is almost here. Very excited about the congregational meeting, yes. On May 18th at 1:30 p.m., we come together on Zoom, apart in our own homes, to elect new board members and to hear about all the exciting things that are happening in our ministries. There's a big old report from me about it. And if you have questions, today's town hall meeting is the place for you to bring those questions. Today at 1:30 p.m., that's the perfect place and time to ask them. Check the weekly update email for the link to attend the town hall today and to register for our congregational meeting on May 18th. I also want to mention to you that next week is Mother's Day Sunday, and it is also going to be our Flower Communion Sunday. So please find a beautiful flower from your world and bring it to our world to share together in next week's Flower Communion. So everybody got it? So you're going to bring your flowers next Sunday, and then on the 18th, you're going to attend the congregational meeting. We good? At this time, I would love to welcome Ada Babb, preschooler, who will light our chalice this morning. And I guess this is the one time and place I'll say it. May the 4th be with you. Also with you. Please join me and Ada in our chalice lighting words together. May the light of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace.
So once upon a time, there was an older woman. She was in her wise woman years, as I like to say. And she was a longtime active member of a UU congregation. She especially enjoyed assisting and singing with the choir. Yes. Yes. Now, she and her husband did not have grandchildren, and she was interested in getting to know some of the children of the congregation. So she approached the religious education director to inquire about the possibility of teaching. Together, they decided which age level made the most sense And she began her volunteer gig, her brand new volunteer gig that fall. Now, because the other teachers on her team had had many years of experience already, she assisted for the first few months before leading her very first class. Now, these children were elementary age kids who had a lot of energy, so it took her some time to get used to the structured chaos. Because she wanted to understand the children developmentally and to contribute the best she could, she met with the religious education director a number of times over the first few months to ask questions, to discuss concerns, and to confirm her already wise instincts. Her confidence was growing. What started as an experiment to discern if teaching religious education was her calling resulted in a joyous experience of being in relationship with children and her fellow religious education teachers. In fact, she would text the religious education director photos of the fun activities happening on Sunday mornings, photos like this one. Now, some of you may recognize the children here. Gosh, I sure hope so. Because these are our children. Yep, these children are cherished by this congregation. And the teacher in the story who sent me this photo is our very own Kay Johnson. So, Kay, do you want to tell us what's going on in this photo here?
Sure. These are the 3rd to 5th graders, and they've been learning the spiritual practices of the different religions around the world. And this Sunday, we were exploring Buddhism, and so we made a mandala out of rice.
Oh, great. Awesome. And it brought me, I have to tell you, I think Bryce also received this text. It brought us so much joy to receive this text, and I'm sure it must have been a fun morning for the teachers and the children.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the question I've never asked you, though, is what was it like for the children to demolish the mandala, which is, of course, part of the Buddhist teachings of impermanence?
I was concerned. And, but these kids grabbed the edges of this tarp thing carefully. Somebody brought over the basket. They made a funnel out of it. It all went into the basket.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Best case scenario. Okay, truly, thank you so much for taking a chance on teaching religious education and for truly dedicating your time and talent to our children. And you're going to teach again next year.
Yes, I'm getting trained to do our whole lives, the OWL facilitator.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'll be asking a lot of questions.
Yes. Indeed. Teaching our 7th and 8th graders. Yeah, so Kay, it was a true delight for me to witness the transformation and joy that you invited in. You invited that transformation and joy to your life by taking courageous action, by doing something outside of your comfort zone. In teaching our children. Yeah. And if you would like to get in on some of that transformation and joy, I hope you will speak to me in social hour after the service. Because I can tell you about the many ways there are to participate in religious education this fall. And especially if you are feeling a tug in your heart right now, and I know some of you are, don't leave today without talking to me. Okay, thanks again for letting us share your story. So at this time, I would like to invite the Babs Feaster family, members of the Babs Feaster family, to come up and join me on the chancel to lead us in this morning's movement prayer. And as they make their way here, I invite you to rise as you are willing and able and join us. First, we bow to honor the spirit of life. We lift our arms and embrace the gifts of spirit. We bring these gifts unto ourselves with gratitude and breathe and smile. We share these gifts with the world. We remember to be present, honor, embrace, gratitude, share, be present. Blessed be. Amen. Thank you. And so at this time, we would like to invite our children, 3rd grade and under, to exit and join their preschool or their creative workshop for this morning. And the location for these is just down the hall on the 1st floor. And as our children recess, please take this opportunity to greet your neighbor, especially someone you haven't met.
Rise in body or in spirit. We'll find joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. Joy in the morning. In the morning we'll find joy. There is more joy somewhere. There
The Insistence of Joy by Ross Gay. Joy is an ember for wild and unpredictable and transgressive and unboundaried solidarity. And that joy might incite further joy, which might incite further solidarity, and on and on and on. My hunch is that joy emerging from our common sorrow, which does not necessarily mean we have the same sorrows, but that we in common sorrow, that joy might draw us together. It might depolarize us and de-atomize us enough that we can consider what in common we love. And though attending to what we hate in common is too often all the rage, and it happens to also be very big business, noticing what we love in common and studying that might help us survive. It's why I think of joy, which gets us to love, as being a practice of survival. Amen.
Let the life I lead speak for me. Let the life I lead speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the life I lead speak for me. Let the love I give speak for me. Let the love I give speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the love I give speak for me. Let the joy I have speak for me. Let the joy I have speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the joy I have speak for me.
Let us put hands on hearts. Feel the heartbeat. Connection to life. Breathe in peace. Breathe out love. Say to yourself silently, I will love myself. I will love others. And that love can heal this world. We send the strands of this love out to Jason Delaney, who lost his grandmother this week and who is mourning her gentle passing. And we send our celebratory, joyful love also to Jason, who this week learned he had won the 2024-25 Outstanding Faculty Teaching Award at Georgia Gwinnett College. We rejoice in Jason's accomplishment as a leading economics professor and a mentor for his students, and especially for his ministry in the world. There is someone in your life in need of healing energy today. Someone who is struggling with job loss, with confusion, someone who is ill or who is grieving. Uplift their image to the top of your heart. Maybe it is a whole people who is suffering, who is on your heart today. Bring them into your mind's eye. Write their name into the live chat. Speak their name into this holy cloud of witnesses now. May all beings find connection. May all people find comfort. May all of us find more ways to be more loving. Spirit of life, love eternal, we rest in holy gratitude. We surrender to a mystery beyond ourselves. Reaching out, asking forgiveness for our mistakes, those times when we have been too selfish or simply thoughtless. Breathing in and out, we offer and receive grace. We forgive ourselves and we forgive each other. We begin again in love. Now let us calm our bodies and our minds. We breathe in peace. We exhale. We relax into this space that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the silence.
Let the life I lead speak for me. Let the life I lead speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing life I lead, speak for me.
Just like some of you, I am a parent who faces people who are unhoused on the streets of Atlanta every day. What I mean is, I have to explain to my children, at least weekly, if not more, exactly how I have allowed another family who we are encountering on a street corner to become unhoused. They demand to know, why aren't there enough houses for everyone in Atlanta? And where are those kids going to sleep tonight, Mom? Sometimes I have the energy to explain the economic injustice of our nation, where gentrification keeps housing prices rising, where affordable housing needs government intervention just to exist, and just the simple fact that a lot of people don't believe everyone has a right to safe shelter unless they can pay a lot for it. But the more I explain it, the more accustomed we all become to this reality. The more it seems just a part of normal life, which feels like the greatest betrayal to our shared humanity and to the world in which I'm trying to raise them. Thankfully, my children find my answers unacceptable. I also make sure to tell my children about Nicholas House, that there is a place in Atlanta where families are given shelter together. They don't have to separate, and that they are offered more than shelter. They are offered hope, dignity, and a path forward in their lives. Every year, UCA supports a table at the annual Nicholas House Luncheon, and I have the chance to hear stories of local families who have been supported from drowning to dreaming to thriving. Like the story of Sharif, who fled domestic violence and faced years of instability. When her two oldest boys were nearing their preteen years and were at risk of being separated from her, Sharif found the Nicholas House. She found not just shelter, but a safe, supportive space to rebuild her life. Her story reminds us that even in our darkest moments, hope and help can transform lives. Nicholas House provides support to families to prepare for secure housing, job stability, gets them on their feet and walking toward better days. Today, Sharif and her children are thriving together, secure, and moving forward. Your support today in service to families like Sharif's family says to them, you are not alone. We believe in your future. So next time your kids or my kid asks you what you are doing to help people who are unhoused in Atlanta, you can look them in the eye and say, yeah, we are a part of the solution. Thank you for opening your hearts and giving generously as we share our plate to support the families and the mission of Nicholas House. This morning's offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Please join me in the dedication of the offering. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings.
One year ago, on April 25th, 2004, national protests erupted across university campuses against the bombing of the Palestinian people in Gaza. Many of these university presidents called in police forces to break up encampments and protests ahead of preparation for graduation services. One of the most brutal police interventions took place only a mile away from us on Emory University's campus. Why protest? What does protesting do anyway? Beyond demonstrating to the press, to authorities near and far, that you are not going to acquiesce to genocide without a voice and a fight, protesting can do a lot for you. Showing up to protest movements galvanizes your energy, connects you with the people who are in the movement, gives you a sense of your own power and how it's connected to larger movement power, flexes your muscles for expression and resistance, and supplies you with slogans and arguments for justice. And also, a protest is a harbinger of joy. Singing together, banging on cans, supporting each other as the protest escalates, holding hands with strangers, cheering for the collective dreams you share. Through these actions, you walk through the portal to the solidarity that begets joy, that begets solidarity, that begets joy. One moment from those demonstrations at Emory's campus was a snapshot of joy heard around the world. I heard about it through a friend in Wisconsin, and I'm only a mile away. It was a moment when one young woman, as she was being zip-tied and forcibly carried away by 5 or more armored police officers who were holding automatic rifles, she sang out loud and powerfully and in tune as they were carrying her away the song, "This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. No, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away." Their goal, you can see this on Instagram. Their goal was to make her afraid, to make her feel like a criminal, to isolate her from the movement, to remove her from her circle of support. And what did she do? She sang out joy. She was part of a larger movement of protesters who were teaching each other to sing some of those same soul-fortifying, spirit-lifting freedom songs that have powered the generations of civil rights and anti-war movements that have come before. This joy comes from the gospel tradition of Black churches. It was composed by Shirley Caesar, known as the First Lady of Gospel Music. "We shall not be moved." And "Down by the Riverside," well, they are passed down from free Civil War era African American spirituals. And "Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom." This is a revamp of an old hymn created during the Civil Rights Movement by a pastor locked up in jail during the Freedom Rides of 1961. Just try singing any of these hymns and staying destitute, hopeless, or despairing. It's impossible. A young woman sings joy as she is being forcibly removed, taken to a paddy wagon. Her joy is untouchable. In 2015, I think someone needs some help over here. Thank you so much. It's joy and hardship and pain all interwoven so finely. In 2015, the writer Douglas Abrams sat down for 5 days with Tenzin Gyatso, His Holiness, the Dalai Lama of Tibet, and Archbishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa to explore lasting happiness, to explore their wellspring of joy amidst lives that have encountered such profound sadness, injustice, exile, and death. That conversation that they experienced for 5 days, can you imagine spending 5 days with those two people, Archbishop Desmond Tutu and also the Dalai Lama of Tibet? 5 days, that created a book called The Book of Joy. The Dalai Lama says, everyone seeks happiness, joyfulness, but from outside, from money, from power, from a big car, or from a big house. Most people never pay much attention to the ultimate source of a happy life, which is inside and not outside. And so Abrams explores 3 Buddhist tenets or types of joy. First, there is rejoicing in someone else's happiness, what Buddhists call mudita. That's the word for this, rejoicing in someone else's happiness. Then there is delight or enchantment, described as a shining kind of contentment. And finally, the third type of joy, spiritual radiance, a serene joy born from deep well-being and benevolence. Spiritual radiance. Now, Desmond Tutu's primary source of joy is his deep and abiding faith in a loving God, while the Dalai Lama tends toward philosophical application of inner commitments structured around mudita, contentment, and spiritual radiance, that serenity as one who exudes such radiance and contentment. In this conversation, the Archbishop began by posing a question to the Dalai Lama. You've been in exile for what, 56 years? From a country you love more than anything else. Why are you not morose? The Dalai Lama took the Archbishop's hand in his, as if comforting him, while reviewing the painful events of his own life. The Dalai Lama's storied discovery as the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama meant that at the age of 2, he was swept away from his rural home in the Amdo province of eastern Tibet to the 1,000-room Potala Palace in the capital city of Lhasa. There he was raised in opulent isolation as the future spiritual and political leader of Tibet and as a godlike incarnation of the Bodhisattva of compassion. After the Chinese invasion of Tibet in 1950, the Dalai Lama was thrust into politics. At the age of 15, he found himself the ruler of 6 million people and facing an all-out and desperately unequal war. For 9 years, he tried to negotiate with Communist China for his people's welfare and sought political solutions as the country came to be annexed. In 1959, during an uprising that risked resulting in a massacre, the Dalai Lama decided, with a heavy heart, to go into exile. To avoid a bloodbath, he left in the night, dressed as a palace guard. He had to take off his recognizable glasses, and his blurred vision must have heightened his sense of fear and uncertainty as the escape party snuck by garrisons of the People's Liberation Army. They endured sandstorms and snowstorms as they summited 9,000-foot mountain peaks during their 3-week escape. One of my practices comes from an ancient Indian teacher. The Dalai Lama began answering the Archbishop's question. He taught that when you experience some tragic situation, think about it. If there's no way to overcome the tragedy, then there is no use worrying too much. So I practiced that. Referring to the 8th century Buddhist master Shanditeva, Shantideva, who wrote, "If something can be done about the situation, what need is there for dejection? And if nothing can be done about it, what use is there for being dejected?" The Archbishop chuckled and said, "Yes, but I think people know that with their head. They know, and it doesn't help the worrying. Still, they worry." Many of us become refugees, the Dalai Lama explained, and there are a lot of difficulties in my own country. When I only look at that, he said, cupping his hands into a small circle, then I worry. He widened his hands, breaking the circle open. But when I look at the world, there are a lot of problems, even within the People's Republic of China. Then outside of China, there are many more problems and more suffering. And when we see these things, we realize that not only do we suffer, but so do many of our human siblings. So when we look at the same event from a wider perspective, we will reduce the worrying of our own suffering. Well, this is far from Bobby McFerrin's "Don't worry, be happy." This is not a denial of pain and suffering, but a shift in perspective from oneself toward others, from anguish to compassion, seeing how others are suffering as well. When we recognize others' suffering, then we realize we are not alone and our personal pain is lessened. This recognition that we are not alone in our suffering is what connects us. It is the birth of empathy and compassion. Another thing the Dalai Lama continued in their conversation, there are different aspects to any event. For example, we lost our own country and we became refugees. But that same experience gave us new opportunities. For me, I had new opportunities to meet with so many different people, spiritual practitioners and scientists. This new opportunity only arrived because I became a refugee. If I had remained in the Potala Palace in Lhasa, I would have stayed in a golden cage. So I prefer the last 5 decades of refugee life, he said. It's more useful. It's more opportunity to learn, to experience life. Therefore, if you look at it from one angle, you feel how bad, oh, how sad. And if you look at it from another angle at the same exact tragedy, same event, you can see that it gives me new opportunities, and so it is wonderful. There is a Tibetan saying, wherever you have friends, that's your country. And wherever you receive love, that's your home. This profound story of refugees, of connection and joy, of life through solidarity and through the suffering, understanding the suffering of all. It reminds me of a story my dad told me. This is me, Taryn. My dad told me when he was recently in town visiting. Back in 2002, he became the executive director of the National Association of Farm Worker Opportunity Programs. And this allowed him to travel to many different states to connect with the different farm worker programs they were supporting. So he traveled to Texas to visit one of the programs that served migrant farm workers who were harvesting onions in the fields. One of the social workers told him of a conversation he'd had with a farm worker as they were waiting for a meeting to begin. It was early in 2002, and to make small talk, the social worker asked the farm worker how his life had changed since the Twin Towers fell. "How has my life changed?" the farm worker asked in response. "From 9/11, my life has not changed at all. But now you are as scared as I am." Across landscapes of solidarity, one can map the topography of joy. Joy is found in the valleys of shared grief, when folks bring comfort food and often funny and strange memories to the potluck after the memorial service. Joy resides in the authentic familiarity of people who have done the long haul work together, have suffered some setbacks together. Joy resides in relationships built in justice movements between people with seemingly very different life experiences. Joy resides in sharing snacks, sharing dreams, sharing stories, and sharing a life together in service to justice and human flourishing. I have known the joy of solidarity with people who I never imagined would know me and see me, could ever really know me, like across cultures, across the boundaries of different languages, different economic backgrounds. And I want you to know this joy that comes out of solidarity movements because it is irrepressible. It is so much better than the thing we have been programmed to believe will bring us all joy, our purchases. It is so much more powerful and power building than the thing we have been programmed to believe will bring us power, our competitive purchasing power. I want this joy for you and for all of us. I want the crowded table, the communal creative spark of making music, theater, and art together, the popular education center where together we learn and grow in our understanding of intersexual, interconnected issues, and we practice changing our language and changing our minds and our behavior, and we encourage each other's growth, and we struggle together. See, I see us at UCA as a hub for community where joy happens everywhere. It's planned, it's spontaneous, it's born out of suffering, and it's building belonging. It is joy that will direct our actions and give us our energy. It is joy that will lead us through the darkness, joy that sparks the lanterns we uplift for one another to shine our way through. If we cannot make joy for one another, it's going to be a long 4 years of despair. And we cannot let that happen. It is a good thing we don't have to travel the lonely road of despair under a repressive regime alone. It is a good thing that our tradition of faith and humanity's liberation takes us down another road. Yeah, it's the low road sometimes. Sometimes it's the high road. It's the road of joy, from suffering to joy by way of joy, as Reverend Jake Morrill preached to us a few months ago. It is the joy of knowing that your suffering is not alone, but it is joined. How many of you have been a part? Well, I guess you don't have to raise your hand because our support groups are anonymous, but maybe you've been in a support group connected with UCA. But it's that laughter that pops up in support groups spontaneously when someone shares something, a pain so recognizable that the loneliness just breaks apart into laughters of shared connection. Oh, you feel that too? You've been through that to me too. And then you realize it's not just yours to hold, but ours to carry. It's the insistence on singing as the cops drag you away, remembering the songs of solidarity that never go quiet and get louder, in fact, when injustice rears its head and strikes. Joy is more nimble than despair, more flexible and bendy, so you can fashion it into great food, into uplifting song, into long hugs, into jumping into pools or creeks in the summertime, into harmonicas on the street corner, that's why I'm usually carrying one, into delighting in each other's presence because it is so damn good to be together. Amen? Times are getting harder. Not easier, not for most of us. But joy is persistent. It thrives on scrappiness. It thrives on togetherness. It doesn't need the outside forces of our lives to tell it what to do. It already knows. Joy is abundantly ready for you to get out from beyond that screen, the one that is scrolling comparison, scrolling anxiety, scrolling fear across your psyche. Joy is always knocking at the door of your heart, and when it does, I want you to open that door and welcome it into your life, even under this regime of chaos, injustice, and despair that would have you despairing. So you got to open the door to joy. when we connect with our shared suffering, when we walk through that hallway towards solidarity, start naming what we love in common, that's when we know joy is with us, having the last word. So when joy slides under the cracks in the doors of your life, don't hesitate. Open the door up, give in to joy, let it animate your life and connect you to the love that gets us all free. Amen.
Please rise in body or in spirit. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
Archbishop Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Llama say that every day is your birthday. Every day you awaken anew, ready to choose the joy that solidarity can bring to your life. Not afraid to share in each other's suffering and sadness, trusting that that connection will lead us to deeper joy and that love will always prevail. So get out there to the protests, join the movement in any way you can, for blessed are the joy bringers who focus us toward love with fresh abandon every day.